Hey, it's me, ShbeblyTheGreat, always letting you know if you should shelve it or trash it. So, Sonic Mania is amazing. Anyways, so, Sonic Forces. Well, it's not good. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever come out and said something like this at the beginning of a video, but I can't help it. Sonic Forces has me extremely confused about how I feel about it. It's been giving me these feelings.
Forces was announced during the Sonic 25th anniversary livestream alongside Sonic Mania. When I saw Sonic Mania, I thought, awesome! This is a true game for classic Sonic fans. Me being a fan of both the classic games and the Boost games, I figured, hey, maybe the second game they're announcing will be for modern fans. And when I saw the first trailer, I started to believe that. Then, classic Sonic. Oh boy. Sonic Team was quick to say that it wasn't Generations 2, but honestly, I think I'd rather take Generations 2. But from the trailer, I liked the direction and tone of the game. I was a big fan of Unleashed story structure. There was a great balance between doomsday, death, and destruction, and cartoony hedgehog. Sonic 06 also tried to be serious, but 06 did everything wrong, as we all know. Unleashed got it down pretty well, so I was excited for this shift in tone. Maybe we'll get some writing I'll enjoy. Flash forward a while, and the next thing that's announced is the ability to create your own avatar. Ladies and gentlemen, Sega has finally given you, the community, the ability to put your very own fan character into an official Sonic game. Gone are the days of modding your OC in. You can just do it in the game, and I think this is a brilliant marketing tool. Let's face it, everyone has either made or thought of making their own Sonic character. Whether it be for a joke or be serious, it counts. Back in my Shelbling 13 days, I had my own OC. His name was Drix, and he was just a blue shadow with a cape. I didn't make him in Forces, but we'll get to that later. I've had people left and right ask me personally on Twitter and on Discord about what I thought of the game. Well, I have quite a bit to say. Let's not delay it any longer. Sonic Forces actually does something unique in terms of story. Usually it's the same, I'm gonna stop you! No, you're not, but I am! I'm making progress though! I'm gonna stop you! Shit, you stopped me! Type of story every Sonic game has. Here, Eggman just fucking went all out. We see Eggman transforming into an exposition machine.
Sonic, how I hate him.
And see that he's working on creating some kind of creature. Flash forward a bit and Eggman starts destroying the city. Sonic and friends get word and head out. Upon saving Tails and these things, Sonic is quickly ambushed by
Shadow, Zavok, Metal, Chaos,
Aww, it's a family reunion. You know what makes a great family reunion game?
Hacky sack! I'll go first.
Go! Go! Running out of time here, Tails! Go!
New guy fucked it up.
This new guy is Infinite, a being so filled with edge that it puts Shadow and Dante to shame. After the good old round of hacky sack, Sonic dies. Maybe. With Sonic defeated, Eggman succeeds at taking over the world. Again. Are we just gonna forget about Unleashed? Alright. After a brief moment of stuff happening, we're informed of a new recruit joining today. And that recruit is your OC. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what determines the tone of the game from here on. If you decide to take it seriously and create a character that you love and cherish, then this game will play out great for you. If you do what I did and just throw shit together, you'll end up with this gorgeous piece of art that makes the game even better. Back in the city, Tails is trying to put poor old Omega back together when suddenly classic Sonic. Yeah, if you guys didn't beat Mania, this is the same Sonic from Mania, except this time he's not from the past like in Generations. He's from another dimension, but they still remember him? So, is this the same Sonic as before? I don't know, but the Phantom Ruby during the final boss with Eggman somehow caused classic Sonic to end up here. So not only is this so-called Phantom Ruby able to rip into other dimensions, I guess, but it's also the main power source of Infinite. But classic Sonic doesn't matter at all in this game's story. Why? Hold on, I'll get back to that. Cut back to the resistance of Sonic's friends soon finding out that Sonic is still alive. Okay then. No need to dwell on that. He's good. One rescue mission later and Sonic's good to go. And from here on, the story just kind of pauses. About 80% of it is told through these dialogue sections between stages. This is my biggest problem with this game's plot. Most, if not all of the dialogue given to you does not transfer over into characterization or gameplay. Like when everyone thought Sonic was dead, they said Tails just lost it, which I believe. Sonic and Tails are like brothers, and if he thought Sonic was dead, it's completely understandable that Tails would fucking break down. But in the very next shot, Tails is completely fine. No visual differences, no change in tone or voice. He is perfectly okay. A better example is when they find out Sonic is alive. We're told that Sonic was being held prisoner and that he was tortured the entire time. He's been in there for months, so you'd assume Sonic would have changed or something. I mean, months of torture, Jesus Christ. But the next time we see Sonic, yes, he's in prison, but he's 100% fine. Just sitting on a bench being Sonic. Again, nothing changed about him. Still a snarky asshole, still able to walk and react, still healthy. I guess that torture was just not letting him run around or something. The biggest offense is when it tries to make you feel stressed and tense during a level. Later in the game, the Resistance plan an ambush on Eggman's base. Cool, you play as your avatar and you make your way through. You're kicking ass and tearing through everything, but when Infinite shows up, he starts flipping shit around and, according to the dialogue boxes, makes everyone start to freak out and lose their shit. Meanwhile, you're just playing the level. Nothing major's happening, you flip around there, turn upside down there, and beat the level. Where was all the freaking out? Where was my army that lost their shit? I made it through perfectly fine. Why are we retreating? And this is consistent through the game. Boss fights are piss poor easy. You can beat them on your first try with no problems at all. But almost every time after you effortlessly knock some sense into the boss, the cutscene following will completely turn the tables for no reason and make them the more powerful one. I have no reason to fear these guys. Just because the story suddenly gives them plot armor doesn't make me fear them more. I beat them extremely easily, so cut that shit out. The best way I can describe it is this. Sonic Forces is telling a story that isn't happening. I feel like you just take breaks from the game to read a completely different story. Whatever the game is trying to convey as plot does not transfer over into what you're playing.
Oh God, everyone!
No, I'm still good. Nothing too big. I don't see why nothing's happened. Oh, okay. What makes this even more laughable is that Sonic Forces came with a free downloadable story called Episode Shadow. It's basically a prequel to Forces with only 3 levels to go through. Here's the thing. Episode Shadow's 3-stage DLC is written better than the 30 stages worth of story in the main campaign. The main story has such painful writing in it. Nothing matches the tone, one character doesn't react well to the other. It started off fine in the beginning, and then it just kind of gave up after that.
No! How could I lose to the likes of you again?
That was a blast. Bring some chili dogs next time.
What does that even mean? That's not funny! What makes Episode Shadow better story-wise? It's more interesting. They have cooler ideas that are fleshed out more. Except for Infinite's backstory. That's just really funny. Infinite was working for Eggman, then Shadow gave him the good old tussle, and Infinite got embarrassed.
I am not weak!
Now he's all powerful, my fucking god. But when he comes back, Infinite starts fucking with Shadow's mind like they said in the main campaign. But we're actually playing through it. This is cool. Shadow's getting mindfucked so hard that he's hearing shit from his friends that he'd never hear. They start out looking for Omega, but then Shadow gets fucked over and this happens.
Omega, I am not defeated. I am not weak. I am not weak. I am not weak. I am not weak. I am not weak.
That's really cool! That's what I was missing from the main campaign. Show us more of this. Transfer the story into the game. Never separate the two. But let's wrap this main story segment up. In the end, Infinite's defeated with no problem at all. Eggman is defeated in another copy and paste boss fight. Everything is good, and the Avatar runs off into the sunset. Overall, good God. This story actually had potential. It reminded me of the Saturday morning Sonic cartoon. I loved that concept, and it really interested me. But everything just fell flat on its face way too fast. Now we move on to the part I was actually excited for when I saw the game. Gameplay. Sonic Forces splits things up into 3 different playstyles. Modern Sonic, your Avatar, and Classic Sonic. Yeah, I remember him. Wanna know what happened to him? He sits there the entire story and leaves. Why was he here? Anyways, Modern Sonic still has the basic formula that made the Boost games fun, but there have been some changes. On a positive note, Sonic's controls are pretty damn good. In previous games, trying to move left or right while boosting just kinda made Sonic merge into that direction. In Forces, Sonic actually turns the direction you want when blasting through things, and I think that's a great change. I feel like I'm more in control whenever something unexpected comes up. The homing attack returns, obviously, but I swear it's been gimped. The homing attack usually locks onto whatever enemy you point your analog stick towards while in midair. This lets you change targets while jumping if you wanted. For some strange reason, Sonic can only lock onto enemies that are directly in front of him. Moving the analog stick around doesn't lock onto anyone else, it just moves Sonic away. This can make certain sections and certain boss fights really frustrating. He can still quickstep, but I swear that's been gimped too. He doesn't snap to a specific lane on the track like he used to. He just shoots to the far left or right, which makes snagging collectibles harder than it needs to be. For some reason, Sonic can't drift anymore. With a rocky start and unleashed to a perfect drift in Generations, Forces just drops it entirely, which sucks because most of the level design could really benefit from that. Speaking of level design, good God, what happened here? Are these even levels, or are they just testing tracks for Sonic? I'm sure you've heard of the whole "you can beat the game by holding one button" gag going around when Forces came out, but they're not wrong! You can beat most of these levels by just holding one button. None of the enemies try to stop you from running forward. They don't do anything. Gone are the days of enemy variety, gone are the days of challenge, gone are the days of interesting set pieces. To be fair, there are moments where the game spices things up by making it more cinematic, and I gotta admit, these are pretty fun to watch, but they're so limited that it doesn't really do much for the game as a whole. These problems don't just occur for Sonic. Classic Sonic is so much worse. First off, he doesn't have that broken spin dash button that he had in Generations, which is a shame. Fucking around with that thing was always fun. But he does have the drop dash from Mania instead, and it works. Sometimes. I don't know, I swear Classic Sonic just latches onto whatever wall he's touching. Modern Sonic's level designs are just a straight line, but Classic Sonic's is just boring. Like, nothing interesting happens. It doesn't help that the music is the bane of my existence with how horrid every track is. I think I honestly hate this more than Sonic 4's soundtrack. Nothing else really needs to be said about Classic Sonic. His levels are boring, there aren't any elemental shields, music is horrific, and he was 100% just thrown in here. Now, to the rookie of the group, your Avatar. Your Avatar's basic controls are a lot like modern Sonic's, except you can't boost. You can still run fast like Sonic, but I swear, there's something weird happening with the top speed. I forgot to mention this earlier, but whenever you're running with modern Sonic, or your Avatar, you'll sometimes feel the game just shift gears. One moment you'll be running to build up speed, the next you just snap forward at top speed. There's no in-between or any kind of build-up. You either get startup slow or all the way. It's really jarring and throws me off every time it happens. Your Avatar can also do a sort of homing attack, but they will use their grappling hook. Pressing R2 will let you use the character's Wisp-on weapons. Yes, the wisps from Sonic Colors are now fused into these weapons that need more wisps to power up. You're given plenty of options for different kinds of weapons, but honestly, I just stick with the beginning weapon, which is the Flamethrower. Why? Because there's no cooldown, there's unlimited ammo, and there's no penalty for doing so. You can hold down the button and just run through the stage. I'm not exaggerating, this isn't a joke, I'm being dead serious. I beat every avatar stage by holding one button down and moving forward. The other weapons are just bad. The lightning whip shoots you forward like Omega from Sonic Heroes, the hammer halts all flow, the hover just hovers. Nothing really good. Each Wisp-On weapon has their own special ability. The Flamethrower lets you burst, which just gives you a few explosions that bounce you upwards. The Lightning Wisp-On lets you do the Lightspeed Dash, which Sonic can't do. Oh my god. The Avatar stages are prone to these QuickTime events. You've seen these in many other games before, and you either love them or you hate them. Successfully doing them will grant you a plethora of points and let you continue the level. Failing the QTEs lets you continue the level. What? There's no penalty for failing these? Then what's the point? There are even these sections where you and Sonic need to mash the square button to do a double boost. Doing it lets you double boost. Failing it lets you double boost. This is getting ridiculous. The best part is that during the final boss, if you fail the QTE, your party will just fumble a little and you'll have to try again. But the best part is that the boss is just waiting there, not doing anything, letting you try again as many times as you want. And I failed it as many times as I wanted. Nothing happened. Guys, this game really isn't giving me much to like. If anything, I can say the presentation is nice. The new Hedgehog Engine 2 looks good, but I don't think it looks better than Generations. Unleashed is still the best looking Sonic game to date. Reflections are nice and water looks beautiful, but it's all very unused. Use it for a level here, maybe one here, and that's it. So much potential for gorgeous stages. And we got this. The music is also very hit or miss. I really like the main theme and Infinite's theme, but the rest is really Modern Sonic's music is good sometimes, classic Sonic's is fucking atrocious, and the Avatar's music are lyrical songs. These are pretty cool and upbeat, but good god, these lyrics have more cheese in them than a stuffed crust pizza. And for the voice acting, I really love these voice actors, but good god, this voice direction is just all over the place. It doesn't help that the writing is just bad. Oh yeah, on a side note, Super Sonic can't be unlocked. There's no special stages or Chaos Emeralds. He's apparently locked away for future DLC, but modders have gotten him to work before Sega made him official. Speaking of, I think the only thing I can look forward to for the future of Forces are the mods. From what my Sonic modding buddy has told me, they got this shit ready before the game even came out. Let's just see what the future holds. Who knows? Maybe I'll make my top 10 Sonic Forces mods.
Well, what should you do? Shelve it or trash it? Well, this isn't a good game. I'll admit, I loved the character creation. I made both hilarious and serious characters because that's something I've always wanted to do as a kid, and I feel like everyone can really enjoy this aspect, but that's really the only part. I really wanted to like this game. I really did, but look on the bright side. We have Sonic Mania. With all that said, Sonic Forces gets trashed. Wow. I think that's the first game we've trashed on this channel. I guess I've been so generous all these years that I've let certain games slip by. Yeah. Let's trash some games.